I mean, you have to need anything else
identify our voice.
How do we identify our voice?
Yes.
How do we identify our emotions? How do we identify anything about ourselves? Can you ask that question again when
Okay, sure.
when I asked for it?
Because last time we was on a group asking us, what do you think your voice is?
Yes.
So your voice can be changed depending on the situation.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yes.
it's going to be
Just enough so you realize like what you're really capable in life.
So we get it tested.
But not enough to like make you regret all of your decisions about coming here.
Oh, we have to say.
Yeah,
You have to?
this is about us.
No,
You're
She's
smart.
the expert.
Something. Cool. Okay, now I can be present. I finished editing my video. It was like driving the whole 45 minutes down here. I was like, I gotta finish editing it. So, how's everyone doing? Good.
Great.
Yeah. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We have like 60 people signed up or something like that. So I imagine there will be more people today.
Should be.
This is when people will check it out.
People? No, I don't think so. I mean,
No?
sometimes.
Just me? I'm the only one that thought about it?
That's okay. It's a pretty casual class. And I'm pretty low energy today. So what's Soul? I'm on one of their organizations we're with. What's the company? What's the organization?
The only way that the live stream picks up our voices is if I use the microphone. So I will put down the microphone at certain points to demonstrate what it means to project your voice. Because staying here and projecting your voice for a long period of time is exhausting. Who here gives speeches or presentations? Awesome, great. What on?
Various things. Mind-body spirit connection, philosophy, physics, esoteric wisdom, things of that nature.
Love that. We're going to get along great. What's your name?
Patrice.
Patrice. Thanks for being here, Patrice. What do you speak on, my dear?
Life insurance and just like any trainings that we have to go over.
Beautiful. Life insurance, trainings. How many people do y'all speak to at once? What's the largest amount of people you've ever spoken to?
I get really nervous. I've only started with small groups, maybe like 30 max.
Awesome. That is 30 humans that you are impacting with your voice. That's amazing. That's so exciting. How many people around?
I keep it small too.
Cool.
And I'd say between 15 and 20 at a time.
Okay, 15, 20 at a time. Were you going to say something, sir?
Audience I had was like over 100, like maybe 110-ish.
Cool. Awesome. 110. The largest audience I've had in my speaking career has been 100, and then I'm speaking to 150 this week. The largest audience I've had in my performing career was 950. Actually, that's a lie, 2,600. Oh my goodness, I'm a lie. It's 2,600 people in high school. When I was 16 years old, I did a production of Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Has anyone seen Sweeney Todd, the demonic barber of Fleet Street? Okay, it is a terrifying musical about cannibalism. And no high schooler should do it, and yet all high schools do it for some crazy reason, because it is a classic. So I'm 16 years old, I'm playing this crazy woman who bakes humans into pies. And at 16 years old, you shouldn't be worked to death on spring break nonstop, right? You should be sleeping and going out and seeing the sunshine on spring break. Not for me, because I was in a very competitive high school for musical theater. So we had a state competition where we were going to perform in front of 2,600 people. And at the what we call an open dress rehearsal, essentially, we had a show of 950 people. I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in days. I haven't seen the sun in days. I don't know what I'm eating. At this point, I don't eat healthy at this point in my life. I'm incredibly unhealthy. I'm in so much pain. At that time, I was also in and out of hospitals, and yet being on stage was the only thing that made me happy. So I'm on stage, and we have these giant turntables, and I'm speaking in this Cockney accent. It's crazy. It's just all over the place. They're screeching. It's literally insane. And all of a sudden, the turntable gets stuck. And I have a fake piano on stage, and I'm so angry that I kick the piano. And down it goes, and I, like the professional that I am, start laughing hysterically on stage in front of 950 people at 16 years old and make a complete fool of myself. Absolute fool. So much so that at my 10-year high school reunion, they still talked about it. And tell the story of the time Sammy laughed on stage and went, "It's been a long day, dearie." It just lives in memory rent-free. And what happened? Did I give up? Did I never get on stage again? No. No, absolutely not. I took that lesson, and I took a deep breath, and I kept going. On to my next one. So when I say that anything you could possibly do today, there is nothing that you can do, let me rephrase, there's nothing you could do today to make a bigger fool of yourself than I have already made a fool of myself, something like that, of the English language, in front of more people. So, when we come up here and play, I ask you to play big. Play big, fail big, right? The bigger we fail, the bigger we learn, the bigger we go. So for those of you who are new here, what's up? Hey, I'm Sammy, AKA, in this context, the voice expert. I've been performing since I'm 8 years old. I have been teaching public speaking skills for 4 years now. I was a cruise director, a Barbra Streisand impersonator, a professional MC, and then about 4 years ago, my friends started to ask me to teach them how to sing and how to help them with their keynote speeches, and then it turned into helping them with their pitches and their marketing. And I started to put together the pieces of our voice, our confidence, quantum physics, neuroscience, and how the world works, and how people work. And then I started to realize that not everyone sees voices in the way that I do. Because when I hear people speak, I hear every trauma that they have. When I hear people speak, I hear the upspeak at the end that tells me that they're unsure. When I hear people speak, I hear the graveliness that tells me that they have something they have yet to overcome at the bottom of their voice. When I hear people speak, I hear their hidden thoughts, and I just thought that this is how everybody was. So when I started to realize that I had this weird little gift, I started to figure out, okay, how do I create a system to teach it? How do I inform other people of this? And so I started asking people the question, hey, what is your relationship to your voice? How do you feel about your voice? And people went, I've never thought about it. Who here has thought about their voice? Cool, cool. What have you thought about? Raise your hand if it's the timbre. I love my voice, or I hate my voice. I hate the sound, it's too nasal, something like that. Right, it's too nasal, or I'm too loud. People say I'm too loud, or I'm too much, right? I'm in the next step, the next journey of my relationship to my voice is I'm recording music. And gosh, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, God, I hate my voice. No, Sim, you're a professional singer. Love your voice. You've done this before, but it takes time. It takes time because our voice is the most intimate part of who we are. Our voice is the most intimate part of who you are. If you're taking notes today, I invite you to write this down. Your voice is the connection between your internal world and the external world. Your voice is the connection between your internal world and the external world. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. Who said that? Yes, the law of conservation of energy. Albert Einstein is whose name, but they do say it was Albert Einstein's wife who said it. Just saying, just throwing that out there. The more I dig into it. I've had a few physicists come into this class and tell me that I got the physics wrong. So this has been a long conversation that's happened here. Your voice is energy. It is a vibration. Sound is a vibration. We all understand that, right? Everyone's has a basic understanding of that your voice sound vibrates through air, through the air, yes, and there's no vibration in space, right, in a vacuum, right? So when we talk about projecting your voice, this will be super important, right? Because when we speak, we rarely think about, we usually think, this is me, I'm thinking, what does my voice sound like? And we rarely think, how is it impacting the person in front of me? What kind of effect am I having on the person in front of me? Because my voice is going to affect someone because the energy has to go somewhere. It's going to bounce off the walls in the back. It's going to be absorbed into your listener's cells. Think about that for a second. When you speak, your voice is absorbed into your audience's cells. Crazy! Now let's take that a step further. If energy is neither created nor destroyed and your voice is energy, where does it come from? Where does it come from? Vocal cords, sure. Your vocal cords, they're folds and they slap together. Sure. Exactly. So my whole theory is that your voice is proof of your soul. That's a theory, cannot prove it at this point. It's my theory. I don't know if it was proof of your soul, whatever, shows that your soul exists because sure, there's electricity coming through, creating these thoughts, creating these words, creating this feeling that you're portraying to the people. But let's just say it's true, okay? Just humor me. You're in my class, so you're gonna humor me, okay? Thank you so much for being here. Love you all, excited to hear all of your voices. You will get up here as well. Humor me. Let's say your voice comes from your soul for 1 second. Well, then that means that your soul is then imprinting on the cells of your audience. What a responsibility that is. What a beautiful responsibility that is. Who here has kids? Yeah? How old? 3. Oh, wow, so impressionable. Everything, a sponge for life. Amazing. I have a 10-year-old stepson, and it's been a wild journey of everything I say gets absorbed. You can't whisper a dang thing without him catching it and repeating it at 10 years old or coming up and saying, why? Why'd you say that? And I'm like, I didn't know you were in the room. Thanks for popping over my shoulder, kiddo. Appreciate you. It is the ultimate watch your words. Our words shape our world. Is anybody into that? I'm guessing, yeah. Our words shape our world. Why do our words shape our world? Is anybody familiar with the reticular activating system? Yes. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Well, whatever seems the most salient in the moment, we're kind of like drawn to look at and pay attention to. And yeah, that's the part, reticular activation system.
Beautiful. It's one way to put it. The most salient in the moment is what we pay attention to. Another way of putting it, it's our data filter. It's our data filter. So let's say I decide I want to buy a Kia. All of a sudden, I'm going to see Kias everywhere. Not only that, I'm going to see a Kia dealership at least once a week. A few weeks ago, I said to my partner, I don't see a lot of Porsches around here. And I kid you not, half a second later, a Porsche zooms by. That's the reticular activating system at work. This is the theory of manifestation, the theory of law of attraction. It's not just this like outside force thing, guys. It's in your brain, in your reticular activating system. So our words literally shape our world. They shape what we see. They filter in what we want to see and filter out what we don't want to see. And so I, the nerd that I am, started to go, okay, well, what if we put like our vocal tone on top of this? How are we then received by other people? Does this affect how we are received by other people? Short answer is yes. Long answer, we're gonna play with that, right? We're gonna focus less today on the words and more on the how of the words. So let's get back to our voices. What is the voice to you? What is your voice? How do you perceive your voice? An instrument of what? Expression. Great. I love that. An instrument of expression. Anyone else? Any other like personal definitions? My voice is my...
What I use it for is communication, connection, understanding, these kinds of things.
Awesome. Beautiful. Yes?
I'd say my voice is my guide, so usually it's pretty accurate as like what I'm feeling inside. And then it can guide like whoever's I'm speaking with to feeling that as well.
I love that. My voice is my guide to how I'm feeling inside. That's a gorgeous rhyme. I'm gonna take that and put it in a song. Love that. My voice is my guide to what I'm feeling inside. When we listen to other people speak, what are the things we start to guess or judge or tell about them? Character. Values, wonderful answers. What else? Confidence level. What else?
Is he full of shit?
Is he full of shit? Are they telling the truth? Are they lying? Can you tell how they're lying though? I did start to question around the presidential debate time. If you could tell, I'm not gonna get into that, but it's a fun side comment. If you can tell when somebody's lying or not. If you can start to pick up their vocal cues, like a human lie detector based off of their vocal patterns. Is that something you've looked into, or you're just like?
Oh, no, I'm very good at it.
Oh, cool. Are there specific vocal patterns? Is it physical patterns?
Whenever they start talking about something specific too much. Whenever I want to set this bottle down, it's like I want to set it here and then run it around the table a couple times before I set it down. That's whenever someone's full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about.
When they're like circling around until they figure it out? I do that sometimes. Actually, my partner and I had a fight about that. He's like, you change your mind. I'm like, no, I'm just talking it out to like get there.
It's okay.
Just like, I just need you to hold the bucket for a second.
I'm full of shit sometimes.
We're all full of shit sometimes, right? Another education level. We can tell somebody's education level by the way that they speak. We can tell where they're from, right? We can tell about their knowledge base, right? What they're aware of, their emotional capacity, their emotional intelligence. I say to my boss that I was like, man, I thought that you like completely lacked empathy because you're so monotone, but that was just, he's just a social media face. So I used to do this for a living, was coaching people on their keynotes, et cetera. I don't do that anymore. I work for a marketing company where we do marketing for music artists and celebrities. So my life has taken a deep pivot. I still teach this. I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow to teach this class with slides. This is a bit more freeform, so if I talk about my boss, that's why I don't do this part anymore. So I have nothing to sell you. This is purely a fun class. I've got 0 things to sell you, my friends. Other than, maybe like come hang out and listen to my music, but that's fine. It's supposed to make you feel better in the end. And I'm also selling you self-love and self-confidence. So take that or leave it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna jump up here in just a second. I'm gonna give y'all a bit of a structure for your voice today, right? So this is not my work. This is Barbara McAfee's work. Shout out Barbara McAfee. Love this method so much, but I've taken it and made it mine, as all, steal like an artist, borrow like an artist, whatever, however you wanna call it. Is anybody here familiar with 5-element theory? Yeah? 5-element theory? Anyone? Any Chinese medicine nerds? No? Just me? All right, cool. 5-element theory. 5-element theory is that there are 5 elements to the world. This is a little bit different. We have earth, air, water, fire, and typically it's ether, but for our voice, we're gonna use metal, okay? So these are just, because when we think about the voice, very few people actually have a framework of how to talk about it, right? It's like I said, oh, my voice is nasal, or my voice is too deep. I can't tell you the amount of people who do not have any kind of self-awareness around their voice. The amount of executives that I have spoken to that tell me their voice is one thing and it is a completely different thing entirely. I spoke with this attorney who spoke like this, and he's like, my voice, I just think it's too deep. I was like, what? Have you heard yourself speak? I was like, how tall are you? I can tell that you're 5'7". And there's nothing wrong with that, bro. I'm not putting you down, but that's just how you're built. Higher voices are on smaller bodies. Lower voices are on bigger bodies, just like an instrument, right? So we're gonna go through the 5 elements, and then I'm gonna nerd out a little bit on how the voice works, and then we're all gonna get up, stand in a circle, and yell at each other. Kind of, not really. Kind of similar to what you're saying, although we might try that. I think that might be cool to kind of feel that one at a time. We'll see what timing looks like. So I'm gonna demonstrate the 5 elements. We have earth. Earth is grounding. I'm gonna use earth when I'm setting boundaries. I'm gonna use earth when I'm on a sales call with men. I'm gonna use earth when I need to be firm about something without sounding angry. We have air. Air is like a 1960s, 1950s telephone receptionist, right? A lot of people with air find that they're spoken over. It's also very childlike and kind of can make you airheaded. Why? Because we're literally using more air to make the sound. The downside of earth is that it can sound muddy. Like I've worked with quite a few veterans who stay down there. There's a lot of earth, but you can't really understand what they're saying, right? And air, obviously, is you're not taken seriously, right? No one's taking Minnie Mouse seriously. And then we have fire, and fire is what I use to project, right? It's what many of us are going to use to project. Fire is gonna be excitement, it's gonna be motivation, it's also gonna be anger. So I have so much fire in my voice, and people have said to me, you sound really angry, and I'm like, oh, all right, let's bring the earth back in, right? But I'm just excited. I'm just excited to be here. That's all that fire is, right? And then we have water. Water is very calm and flowy. With water, we're going to use a lot of our vowels. Water is for a meditation teacher, or speaking with children, or being a mediator in a conflict. I teach water to a lot of HR managers, or earth to a lot of HR managers, especially in places with attorneys and law firms, because Law firms are like the one place where people still yell and throw things in the office and no one sues each other. It's very odd. I don't really understand it. I'm surrounded by attorneys. My sister's an attorney. My parents work with attorneys. They throw staplers in the office still. Like anywhere else, that's not okay, right? Except for the one place where everyone knows how to sue each other. Anyway, so dealing with them is learning how to control your voice so you can own the room and own the situation.
And then finally, we have metal. And metal is annoying. That's the downside. But when used well,
Metal can be very important for if your microphone goes out. Because if you use fire for a long period of time, it's going to be very exhausting on your vocal cords. Very exhausting. So we use metal. We literally just change where the vibration lives in your face, and you're able to speak for a longer period of time. And this is where sound gets really cool, my friends, because most people just open their mouth to speak and hope for the best and go, all right, my voice is kind of going everywhere. But if you pick a specific point where you want your voice to go, it will go there. It will be directed energy rather than chaotic energy. So we're going to play with that together, which is super fun. That will answer your question. That's what's going to make the biggest difference for you. Did I get them all? I got them all. Is there anything else I want to say on that? I'm running on caffeine and very little sleep today, so that's the version of me you're getting, and it's the version of me that's here. Metal is also really great for if you have a lot of mud in your voice. I usually won't have like introverts go straight to fire because it can be really overwhelming, right? When we go straight to using the fullness of our voice, that's, oh my gosh, I'm too much. It's really intense on somebody's somatic system. So we might do metal. Just push the sound a little bit forward, and then they're heard more. Or I have this sweet Serbian man who comes to this class a lot, and he speaks like this. His mouth doesn't move at all. His mouth doesn't move at all. So we just started to get him to open his mouth and send the sound out of his nose, and all of a sudden he took up all this space. You'll see that happen in each other today when I work with you all one-on-one. It's so much fun. It's super cool to watch people grow. Okay, so how does the voice work? How do your vocal cords work? Slap together, right? Was it you, my friend, who said that? Sam, you said that, right? That our vocal cords slap together. Anybody else familiar with the diaphragm, how the diaphragm works? Anybody like to share, teach? I love when you use your voice. Nope, okay, I'll teach it. Great. So your diaphragm is what controls your breath. It is both automatic and manual, which is what makes it really cool. So when we breathe in, our belly comes out, and our diaphragm moves all of our organs out of the way so that our lungs can expand. So it does have a purpose of making space for your breath so that you can speak with power and purpose. So when I inhale, my belly comes out, and then I exhale, my belly comes in. And when I speak, that exhale, our vocal cords slap together like this. They slap like this. They might slap together really quickly. They might slap together really slowly. When they slap together really quickly, they're really high up, they flutter, they're really thin, and they move really fast. And then when they slow down and get thick, that's when they're down here. And the breath is what carries your voice. Cool, nerdy. Final point. Is anybody here familiar with the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve or the vagus nerve? No, great. What?
I was talking about it today. It's funny because I was like not too sure, but this person was very sure. But I don't know enough to teach about it.
Cool. The vagus nerve or the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body. It connects your voice box to all of actually your brainstem and your voice box to all of your organs. So when I started to nerd out about the voice and started to nerd out about how our nervous systems work, and I learned that the vagus nerve is connected to our voice, and that when we hum, when we sing, and when we speak, we are connected to each and every one of our organs and our full body nervous system, I was like, that is the coolest thing in the whole world. Why don't we all know that? And we did. We did. When we were tribal creatures, singing and dancing around a campfire. And we used the singing and dancing to release the trauma of the day, because there was trauma every day when you're hunting for your food and wondering if the weather will knock out your straw hut, right? So we have been singing and dancing for generations and generations and generations as part of our DNA, and that's the vagus nerve tells us that. And in today's world, we watch other people sing on TV. In today's world, we listen to other people speak, we scroll TikTok, we stop singing. And when we do sing, who knows what the words are we're singing? Pay attention to the words of your songs, my friends. And yes, I work in the music industry, so I'm very, very aware of what that looks like on the back end. But pay attention to the words that you sing along to because they are embedded in your cellular system. Super cool stuff. So, why is this important? Why should you care? How many of you have a fear of public speaking? Awesome. Can you guess what the key is to overcoming that fear? Doing it is a great answer. Stage time, yes, same. Those are synonyms, absolutely. Releasing the energy. Great answer, releasing the energy. And so how are we gonna release the energy? We gonna sing, folks. Yep, it's really simple. Singing is as simple as humming. Simple as humming. You already know it. You already know it, right? Releasing the energy. How many, like when you sigh? Can I have a collective sigh, please? Everyone inhale. Yeah, 2 more like that. Really lean into it. Inhale. And last one. You just released energy by using your voice and your breath to stimulate your vagus nerve. Done. That's it. That's your 1 second thing you get to do before you walk on stage. If you have a fear of public speaking, I call this the tune-in. Hello, everybody. I am here to pitch you the most amazing new AI tool. It's going to change all of your lives. Pause, breathe. If you want to ground your feet into the earth, you certainly can. There's plenty of meditations that will show you how to do that. Maybe we'll do that a little bit today. Any questions before I get you all up and using your voices? No, that makes sense. I'm kind of a little scattered today. I threw away my presentation deck and was like, let's see what happens. Cool, let's all stand up. Come here and form a big circle on the stage. Cool. Does anyone here like to sing? Anyone here like sing and worship in one way or another, however you worship? No one here sings and worship?
I don't sing in worship. I like singing.
Okay.
I don't do it.
Okay.
I like, no, I like it, but I don't.
Where are you from?
Sweden.
From Sweden. Ah, okay, cool. I have many Swedish friends. Okay. Is singing popular in Sweden? Do you walk around and hear people sing in the streets?
No.
Not like Italy, right? Where there's like grandpa hanging from a window, like singing at you,
No.
right?
People are kind of repressed. Like, not as bad as Japanese or anything, but still up there in the repression.
Okay. And a lot of Swedish people in English have very monotone voices. Speak without a lot of melody in their voice. They're not particularly melodious, which is... Yeah, exactly. I used to live with a fun Norwegian dude, and I was like, I never knew when he was serious or kidding. Hey, guys. Welcome. It is Public Speaking Playful Practice. If you want to put your backpack down and come join us on stage, we're about to use our voices in weird ways. I ask if anybody here sings in worship because 9 times out of 10, if you have, this becomes easier for you. And I just have a fascination with worship singers and how strong their voices are. Like anybody who sings in church or sings in some sort, whether it's you're the one on stage or you're the one in the audience in the congregation, their voices are just so much stronger, and it's awesome and exciting. And I would love to partner with a neuroscientist around it, but that's not where we're at in life. So hello, welcome. Hi, I'm Sammy. You missed my whole spiel, but that's okay. We're gonna play now. That's okay. You're here. You're here. All right. I'm gonna put this down. We're gonna repeat after me. Okay? I'm gonna have everybody plant your feet. Beautiful. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth on a sigh. I invite you to notice the vibrations in your body when you do that again. Okay? Inhale through the nose. Last one. Feel every vibration. what, like the sound flows better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think of the term tongue-tied, right? So tongue-tied, what does that mean? My tongue's not working. What, sorry? Can't speak. Can't speak, right? Or tripping over ourselves. It's literally that the back of our tongue is stuck. So, and part of how I started to discover this as well is I think I talked about, so I come from a musical theater background, you also missed this. Part of a musical theater background and a strong musical theater history background is also studying worship music and gospel singers, which I just absolutely love. And I was like, how do they have the perfect voice? Like, what is the perfect voice of a gospel singer? And a lot of it is tongue, right here, which is really beautiful. I was like, oh, they're all making space for the Holy Spirit to move through. All of this space for the sound to move through. And I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of spiritual reasons I can dive into. That's for, like, you know, another time with substances involved kind of thing. But for this class, how can you allow space to move through? That's really what we're doing. How can you allow yourself to take up space on stage and deliver what it is you're here to deliver, or in front of people, or whatever it is that you're doing, right? Taking up space with your voice strategically. It's not just yelling at people, bringing the energy in to make them lean in as well. We're not really talking too much about singing today, but it always comes up because singing is the method to become a better speaker. That's my theory. So much of it. Cool. Any questions around this?
Like, what about the expression speaking in tongues?
I would love to dive into that. That's like, I have questions around it more than I have answers. Speaking it, well, tongues, it's very biblical, right? Like tongues is like, is anybody here more familiar with Bible study than I am? I'll speak into it. My pastor brought it up. Are you? Yeah. Okay, cool. Fun fact, I'm super Jew, and a Christian. Take what you want from that. So, whole family's Jewish, but I really love Christ and his teachings and love loving everybody and think it's really important. And Austin kind of taught me that. So, I've been on my own journey of studying the Bible, and sort of speaking in tongues is one of the gifts. Wow, I'm learning so much. My pastor. Speaking in tongues is one of the gifts, I believe, of Paul to the Romans. Or no, there's another one. We talk about that another time, friends. Don't quote me on it, but it is one of the gifts of like when you're able to use tongues in order to clear spirits, essentially. It's like using like nonsense language, if you will. A lot of people in Austin do it, and my thing to them is they have no idea what language they're speaking, and they have no idea what they're calling in. And I've made several posts about that where people come at me, and I'm like, I don't care. Words shape our worlds. If you don't know what language you're speaking, like what spirits are you calling in? Like we have enough evil spirits coming at us every day with this shit going on in the world. Let's call in some goodness. Enough said. Thank you so much. You can listen to my music, and that will be the answer to that. Okay, thanks. That's so funny because it used to be like you can work with me coaching, and now it's like you can listen to my music. That's a fun, different call to action. Speaking in tongues, well, that's a whole other thing. What else in terms of how this relates to why you came to this class?
Being able to use like the instrument,
Mm-hmm.
like just different ranges if you're just talking through or demonstrating.
Mm-hmm.
I think understanding like what exercises to do or how to stretch them out and things you can do to practice or to prepare
Cool.
for using the instrument.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, great to know. Let me shift the question. I'm sweating a little bit, so I'm like, whew. Which of the 5 elements felt most natural to you? Water. Awesome. Makes sense. Water. Earth. Earth. Almost everything.
How much time do you have left?
Oh,
Yeah, I like him. I didn't get all of that. I don't know if I classified them all in my mind.
Oh, do you want to do them one more time?
Sure.
Should we do it again? All right, let's do them and name them while we do it. I am Earth.
I am Earth.
It comes from low. I am Earth.
I am Earth. I am Earth.
I guess I'm right.
Yeah. Earth, you might not recognize it, your Earth, and it's coming from deep in your sacral. Women who've given birth often are very connected to this because those are the sounds of giving birth, like super guttural sounds. And there's a lot of women that I work with that speak up here. And then they come to this class and I'm like, all right, you're going to put your hands in some So that's earth. Air. Air. I am air. Air doesn't have to be high pitched, so let's bring it down. Air. I am air. Soft spoken. Kind. Little sleepy. Yeah, awesome. Who resonates with either of those? Resonate with air? Air. You might resonate more with water.
Maybe air.
Air. Air. Yeah, air. Air and water are very close, so we'll talk about the differences. Let's go straight to water. I am water.
I am water.
I flow.
I flow.
I mediate.
I mediate.
I calm.
I calm.
I am peaceful.
I am peaceful.
What about water? Yeah, resonate more with water. The reason why I feel more water than air from you is in that you have a lot of earth as well. Like when you speak, like my feet feel it. Like you came in and you spoke, and I was like, whoa, he's got this super like low, beautiful voice, right? So that's, think about water, right? Water sits on the earth. It's going to be closer. It's good to see you. It's going to be closer to the earth in that way. Water is a dangerous one to fall into in day to day because a lot of people are like, I'm speaking peacefully, and like, I'm falling asleep. Break it up. Give me some excitement. And then we have fire. I am fire.
I am fire.
I love excitement.
I love excitement.
I am motivational.
I am motivational.
Awesome. Who has fire most? Fire, yes?
Most? I don't know, but yeah,
It's in there. It's fun. I love fire. I have to like calm my fire too much. The Leo is me. Yeah.
I think I will talk water, but then if I'm like really trying to express something, the fire comes out, people think I'm mean.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, your kids feel that from you? Okay, awesome. Women hear that a lot. I have a specific class I teach called for women, how to, gosh, what is it? How to take up space without sounding bossy. How to be direct without sounding bossy. And part of that does come actually down to our consonants. My partner, the love of my life, sweet, sweet man, will be with him for as long as God allowed that to happen. He is a New Yorker. My whole family's New Yorker, so that's no surprise. But he just speaks so in front of his face with all these consonants. I'm always like, you sound so angry. He's like, I'm not angry. I'm like, tell him your consonants, bro. So that's what it is often it's that fire, that really intense volume, really, and then combined with consonants. So often when I work with women who want to show that I'm in charge, we work on that earth energy and soften the consonants a little bit. I don't know if that will be what it is for you. Well, we can work, knowing that, we can work on it when you come tell your story. And we're going to jump into that so everyone has a little extra. We're going to have a full hour, which is going to be great. So what happens when I throw my presentation away?
How does like body language and the voice connect?
Your voice is a full body experience. We're not going to dive too much into body language today just because we only have 2 hours. And there are specific power poses that you can utilize. For most people, all right, yes. This is one of, they're called mudras as well. So fingertips together, or you'll see Trump and what's his name, Musk doing this all the time. Very powerful men often sit like this. It's not as much of a secret anymore. It's pretty standard, but this is stronger than. I mean, I stand with my arms crossed all the time. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Like, I want to protect myself, and so I'm going to do it. This feels protective. This feels like this feels defensive, but I'm very careful not to do it on stage, right? Another aspect on stage that I'm a big fan of is hands out. Big fan of hands out on stage. Big fan of being like, I'm safe, I'm welcome, come here. Rather, this can get weird, right? I'm not gonna say this. Yeah, right? What's great about the microphone is I hide behind the microphone. I absolutely use the microphone as a tool so I don't have to think about it. But I've been using the microphone for many, many years, so it also feels like an extension of my hand, especially because I'm demonstrating the voice so much. It's weird with a headset for me because then I have to like pull it away when I want to project. So, you know, we all have our things. I have restless feet. I sometimes will make it a focus to stand there and be still, but in general, I don't want to. I'm a dancer, I want to dance. about glue again. We can chat about that after. I love this class a lot, so thank you for being here. This is my pride and joy to teach it. If it works out to keep going, sure. It just has, everything ends in life. Get as much out of this, exactly, for sure. But at the same time, if you ever like invite me to a party and want to play games like this, I'll still do it. Like this is like just become a part of who I am. I love this kind of stuff. I love helping people feel. My birthday parties are talent shows where I was like, if you want me to coach you up before you sing or go to your talent, I will, and then I'll sing back up. So those are my birthday parties. That's what I told my partner I want our wedding to be. So like it's my favorite thing. It's like when everyone brings their talent, everyone brings their voice, and everyone gets to shine. So this just happens to be where I talk about it in business context. So real quick, is anybody here because they were pitching something? Were you pitching something? Yeah. You look dressed to pitch.
Yeah, no, I pitched in New York and then flew here, and my pitch was not great.
Okay.
Because, the idea is great, but public speaking is not. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What happened?
I was just super nervous and kind of just went too fast, I think, and didn't really like spend the time to like connect with the audience, and yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Did you die?
No, I might have.
You might have. It's fine. And what did you learn from that experience?
That I need to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you stop doing on stage? Let me put it another way. Did you breathe? No. Okay, cool. So when you talk today, you're being go, hello, hi, welcome. Lovely to have you. What's your name? Micah? Micah? Is that it? Awesome, Micah. I'm Sammy. Nice to meet you, bro. We're gonna practice breathing. Grounding, breathing. It's harder in heels, but you can do it. It's harder in heels, I'll tell you that. Because we're further from the floor. Bend your knees. We're gonna bend our knees when we get on stage. That's the biggest thing they teach us that they taught us in choir in high school. Do not straighten your knees while you sing. You will pass out. We'll keep our knees bent. What is this? Is that serious? Yeah, it is that serious. It is that serious. If you stand there with straight, yeah, because you won't be able to get oxygen flow to your whole body while you're on stage. You're like, is it that serious? I did see somebody in choir pass out in high school. I don't know if that's why, but it happened. I would love to give him all the attention in the world. Don't get me wrong. Cool. So here's what's gonna happen next, my friends. We're all gonna get stage time. You're all gonna get stage time, and I'm gonna have the pleasure to coach you to help it be whatever the next step is for you. We're gonna talk about breakfast. I've tried doing this with talking about other subjects, but breakfast is still the best. Do you want to talk about something else?
I would. I know you asked her if she was pitching something. Is that an option?
You certainly can. You can practice your pitch if you want
Oh, no, I don't
to.
want to do it now. I just
Okay.
came from a pitch.
Okay,
I
cool.
thought-
No, that's fine. You can. You are welcome to. The reason why I don't have people practice their pitch in this class is because then we get so focused on the what that we lose all the other things. So if you have your what down and you feel good in that and you want to practice, like whether it's breathing or projecting or dynamics or storytelling in some way, welcome to support you in that. Happy to support you in
What
that.
if you don't eat breakfast?
Then that's a great story. I wish that I wrote them all down in this class. We've had some of the best stories I've ever heard around breakfast in this class. I've probably around 300 students come through this at this point. There's gonna be, so here's the goal. You're gonna walk on stage, you're gonna own the stage. You're gonna speak about breakfast, whatever your thoughts are around breakfast, whether it's, I love breakfast, breakfast is my favorite meal, or I hate breakfast, I am protesting breakfast. The person leading this protest, I'm putting a sign up on the wall. Whatever it is, talk about it for 1 minute and have a specific purpose for what you're doing. Sorry, intention is the word I'm looking for. So it could be, my intention is to do this and not forget everything I said. My intention is to breathe the whole time. My intention is to take care of the mic. My intention is to breathe beforehand. My intention is to make myself laugh, right? Try not to let your intention be funny. Usually that doesn't work. Okay? If I just like be myself, that's when the bunny comes out. So I invite you to have that rule yourself. If all else fails, my friends, breathe, 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 breathe. Microphone is optional. If you're practicing projection today, don't use the microphone. If you're practicing using the microphone and having dynamics within the microphone and practicing making sure that you turn the microphone with your head and don't do this as you go, then absolutely use the microphone. Cool? Sweet. All right, well, let's get our audience settled, and whoever wants to go first can stay on stage. Want to go first?
I can. I wanted to tell a longer story.
Can you keep it to like a minute and a half?
I'll stop.
Okay, I'll ask y'all to keep it to a minute and a half, usually a minute, but we have a little extra time today because I shut my pie hole today. Surprise, you might think I didn't, but I swear I did. I invite you to walk on stage as well and let that be part of your practice. Microphone or no? All right. Oh, one more thing. My friends, super important, super important. People rarely remember how you started, but they will always remember how you finish. So before you walk off the stage, please, I beg you, embed this into your body. Thank you. And walk off. It feels good, it sounds good, it's professional, it never fails. If you don't use thank you, I swear, trust me, I don't have any reasoning other than thank you is a really high vibration. It just sounds good, it tells us you're done, and it also gives you a conclusion that's not awkward, right? So thank you and walk off, okay? Cool, write that down, put it in your notes, keep it forever.
I was coming home to Sweden not so long ago, to my parents' house. I slept on the top stair, up of the stairs, and I was walking down the stairs to have breakfast. I was walking down these creaky stairs, and it's like one of those hazy mornings where you're kind of half asleep, kind of half awake. And as I walk down, I see, oh, there's my cat. Oh, I love this cat. And I see it's kind of laying there, and it's like wrapped around the chair, and it's like, oh, and I just imagine all these memories come back, because I'm rarely at my parents' place. But I see it, and I'm like, oh, I remember all the petting I've done, all the purring it's done, and I just, in my mind, I'm already reaching out to pet it and have that yummy connection. And then look over, and like, wait, it's not moving. It's not breathing. Oh. It's my mom's black purse. And I remember in that moment, like, my cat's been gone for decades. Long enough that the grief has subsided, but not long enough to let the love go away. So I'm just stuck there in this moment of like a pang of like grief and a love experience. Thank you.
Oh.
It was the moment, the pang between, like not knowing where I should be emotionally.
What do you mean?
Like, is it a grief situation because I don't have the cat, or is it a love situation because I really love the memories of the cat?
Cool. What is this story for? Is this for you?
Sharing an emotional moment.
Okay.
So emotional impact.
Okay. How do you want your audience to feel when you tell this story? Aww. So you want them to feel bad for you?
No, not bad.
That's the question, right? No, this is great. This is really good, actually. Here, let's take this on stage. So how do you want them to feel? Do you want them to sympathize? Do you want them to feel grief?
I want them to feel something more complex.
Okay.
Like, oh, this is a moment where I don't know really how to feel, but it's like there's many things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I really like when you got into the moment of the story. That's why I asked, because there's talking about the story, and then there's being in the story, and you were doing that really well. story. So I invite you, as you play with this, to continue to play with what you see, what you taste, what you touch, what you smell, and all those things. You were already starting to do it, right? You were already definitely, right? When he rubbed his eyes and went, oh, I was right there with him, which is really great. That's what we want when we're telling stories. We want to be in the moment there. A lot of times when I tell that Sweeney Todd story at the beginning, I'm like, I smell the fog and cough on the rice flour. That's all over the stage. But I just don't know what happened. So keeping those moments is really strong. Is there a place that you're planning to tell the story, or you're just using it to practice?
No place to use it.
Okay.
I mean, I have used it once.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to do it one more time,
Mm-hmm.
and this time I'm gonna yell out dynamics. I'm gonna yell out one of the 5 voices at you. Okay?
I'm gonna do it, or what?
Yeah, you're gonna whatever comes out. All right answers. Is that
What do you
confusing?
mean? What do you mean? What am I gonna do?
So
When you yell, what do I do?
So you have a very. How would you classify his voice of the 5 elements, my friends?
One.
Air. Air.
You would use air. Why would you choose air?
Earth.
I would choose earth.
Earth. I think
And
it's
water.
Earth.
Yeah. Oh, you said earth. Okay, sorry. So sorry. I would choose earth, right? So in order to keep my attention, I want to hear some more melody. I want to hear some ups and downs
Okay.
of emotion.
Uh-huh.
Okay? It's just for fun. This is just for learning purposes,
Sure.
okay? Can I ask you to try again?
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot because you're going first, but everyone else will be put on the spot too, don't worry.
So, I'll time it again.
Cool.
I was walking down the stairs from my parents' place in Sweden that I don't visit very often. Creaky stairs, hazy morning, barely awake. And I get down, kind of smell my mother's morning routine of breakfast and lavender. And there I see, right there, on the chair, it's my cat. I haven't seen it for years. And I'm so happy. So I almost immediately go, all the memories come flooding back.
Air.
And I just want to pet it. I just want to be with it and like enjoy its warm, fuzzy energy and cuddle her so much.
Earth.
And then I see she's not breathing. She's not moving. What is? Oh, it is my mom's black purse.
Awesome. Stop there. Round of applause. That was awesome. That was really great. You see how those dynamics change the story.
Yes.
What'd you experience?
Well, so with the prompting, I was like, okay, I'm gonna change it up a little bit and have more of these like see, feel, hear elements that I already have, like some in my memory banks, and like use more of those. And so it felt more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great
Nice-
job.
Nice to be expressive.
Yeah, super expressive. It was really great. It was a really great example of using air for like creating an imagination. Right? All of a sudden, I was pulled into his imagination with it. And fire, I was excited. I was right. Those dynamics were really. The what you see, what you smell, all of that was also really fantastic. Awesome. Who wants to go next? Who's next? Yeah, come on up. Microphone, no microphone.
No microphone.
No microphone.
Cool. Well, I'll just do this in my default voice because I am fascinated how my voice turns out and what elements it has. Time for 1 minute. My breakfast routine usually is the same damn thing every day because I am a creature of habit and I've designed this protein-rich routine that I think is going to improve my life, make me jacked, and make me have a very clean life that hits all my goals. So I bake a dozen eggs at a time in a muffin tin, which always gets stuck with eggs afterwards, by the way. But bake them, throw them in the fridge, wake up, throw 3 in the microwave, toast some Ezekiel bread, put them sliced so that 1.5 slices of egg gets on each of the Ezekiel breads. Eat that up and wash it down with some juice. This is not typical juice. I was recently traveling and America does not do juice right. I learned that fresh juice tastes way better than industrial juice. heard that vitamin C actually breaks down after you juice the orange. So there's a good scientific reason why it might be true. Anyway, I bought a $15 juicer. Best investment ever. Slice a grapefruit, slice an orange, blend it up. It's the best orange juice you've had. Good way to wash down the toast. Thank you. Lewis.
Lewis, awesome, Lewis. How would y'all classify his voice? Remember, it could be one or two.
Monotone.
Cool. Great answer, actually. Have you ever heard that you're monotone before?
I've heard like not so emotional and
Cool.
robotic actually once or twice. I sound normal to me, so it's always funny, right?
Of course. So monotone, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing, except I would classify as monotone, but monomelody. Meaning that you've one melodic pattern over and over. So it's not that you're on the same pitch and going like this the whole time. It's that you have the same pattern that you're going to speak over and over, and like this, and now my shoes are wet, and now my hair is going into, I don't know why where that just came from. Sometimes I run out of improv words. So that's great. That's actually really easy to fix.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to play a game. It's called Sing What We Speak. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. How did you start your story?
So I am a creature of habit,
Okay.
and
Cool, we're going to do this like, so I am a creature of habit.
so I am a creature of habit.
You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, wow.
I'm okay. I'm trying to get it better. My range is narrow.
What? That was narrowing.
No.
But thank you.
Super rich, super rich. So the beautiful thing about singing and speaking. So the method of musical theater singing that I learned is called speech level singing. Meaning anything you can speak, you can sing. And so therefore, anything you can sing, you can speak. So I started to turn that opposite when I started working with speakers and executives and attorneys, law firms that would send me their attorneys that were really monotone or monomelody. And I realized, oh, if I have them sing this, they'll start to feel what different melodies feel like. And then how can they put to their business, their work, that speaking is the same thing. So I'm going to have you do that a few more times. Give me, what are the next two sentences of what you were saying?
Shall I sing it?
Yes, do it. Go for it. Have
Oh,
fun.
well, I'll let you model it, but I am a creature of habit, and my breakfast is the same damn thing every morning.
I am a creature of habit,
I am a creature of habit,
and my breakfast is the same thing each morning.
and my breakfast is the same thing each morning.
Dude, you just sang like 2.5 octaves. Don't you dare tell me that you don't have a range. You actually have quite the range. I have singing videos online. Highly recommend. I have voice teachers in town if you want them. I know most voice teachers in this town at this point. I'm gonna have you do it again. Now speak it, but doing that. I am a creature of habit.
I am a creature of habit, so I eat the same damn thing every day. Basically.
Cool. Did you guys hear where the melody came from?
Fantastic change.
It sounds unlike me.
Okay.
But did it sound weird? Did it sound like something that you would be like, why is he talking like that?
I love this much more.
Really? Yeah.
It's your voice is actually quite full. So when you put a little right now, it's not actually monotone was one way or monomelody is one way to put it. The other way is actually mud in some ways. You're speaking in American vocal fry. So it's further back. It's what some people call off your voice.
Yeah.
So putting a little bit of air behind it and a little bit of structure in your melody, you will be taken very seriously and very important reasons. Yes. Cool. Try one more time.
Okay.
Singing it and then speaking it.
Singing and speaking the story.
Sing each line. Do like 20 seconds of it or like half of it. Sing each line and then speak each line.
I am a creature of habit, so what I end up eating is largely the same damn thing every day. I am a creature of habit, so what I end up eating is largely the same damn thing every day.
Cool. You didn't need to sing it as much as you did the second time. That's totally fine. You
Yeah.
did it. You're playing with it, but it sounds great. What's the next thing that you would say?
And that is basically some high protein diet that I've decided is going to make me jacked and improve every aspect of my life.
Did you write this beforehand?
No.
How did you remember word for word?
Maybe I changed the word.
I don't know.
which is basically a high-protein diet that I've decided is going to make me super jacked and fix every other aspect of my life.
Cool. Put those together, just speaking it. You can make it more conversational, but have the same full voice feeling.
So less voice feeling in what I just, there was less voice feeling in what I just said.
Yes, no, that was a lot of full voice feelings. Right now, this
Oh,
is
yeah,
full
yeah.
voice feelings, right? So let's come back into the high energy. And so the sing-songy quality, without it being as sing-songy, but right here, I'm still kind of a little bit singing, right? I'm still coming up and coming back down. So keep that. I'm a creature of habit. Play with those just without singing it first part. How do you like put it all together?
Yeah.
Essentially.
I am a creature of habit. So I end up eating the same damn thing every day, which is basically a high-protein diet that is organic and ultra clean that I believe is going to make me super jacked and fix every aspect of my life.
Awesome. Sick. Round of applause. Well done. Well done. Thank you. Now, of course, there's then the next step of like, how do you make it less like, how do you, what would be the next, there's always a next step, but that was huge. That was awesome. Play it, put your camera, press record, see it for yourself, how you normally speak, the singing version, and then the speaking version, and it will be a huge difference. It's super engaging. Awesome. And then you went down at the end, and that bass voice came out. I was like, whoa, that's cool. Okay, cool. Who's next? Come on up. If anyone wants a microphone, just let me know.
What's better? So like, is there any?
Depends on what your intention is.
I'll go with Val.
Okay.
So, for me, breakfast used to be the most important part of my day. You hear everyone say it's the most important meal of the day, and I was so worried about what I should choose for breakfast, what ingredients I should use, and then my son came around. He's 3 now, so breakfast became more of a ritual, really, and it was so interesting because this morning I'm usually thinking like what chaos is about to come my way, but I just slowed down and like invited him into the bed. So instead of like just jumping up, what are you gonna eat today? What are you excited about today? I was more about like let's just like spend some time and connect in the morning. And it was so interesting because that little connection that we had to start off the day like set the stage for the entire breakfast. So with him, I'm also like, what should we do that like can get his hands dirty, or is fun for him? So we always do some sort of baking thing, so it's like pancakes or something of that sort. But today he was just in it and had so much fun. And then what we made was decent. It wasn't great by any stretch, but it was made with him. It was made with my wife. And then after sitting there and just enjoying the meal together, I just thought to myself, like, it's not even really about what we have for breakfast at all, but more just spending quality time with the people that are most important to you. So breakfast was like this, how am I going to get energy? Now it's like this like amazing time that I get to capture with my family. So it's so much more meaningful for me these days. Thank you.
Cool. What was your intention?
To try to have a little bit of tempo or change my voice a little bit, but I forgot a bit when I was going.
Cool. I'm gonna throw the 5 elements at you. Let's see what happens. Cool.
So
Wait, I'm pausing you. Find another way to start other than so.
Okay.
Thank you.
For me, breakfast used to be the most important part of my day, based on what fuel I was going to get, the calorie intake, all
Fire.
of those things. So now I just woke up this morning with this desire to do something different. I was like, instead of going straight to the kitchen and cooking, I was just going to grab my son and say, we're going to take some time and just relax a little bit. So we did just that, and everything slowed down, and just everything was so wonderful, and it was just, we were so present, and it was a beautiful moment
Water.
that we shared today. That
in one way or another. Sometimes in weird ways all at the same time, you know? It makes no secret, right? MLK is known as one of the best speakers that's ever existed, right? His voice is luscious and beautiful and powerful and watery and like brings you to God while also keeping you grounded on the earth, right? So you have all of those in some ways. So my question is usually not like, is this person, it's like, why are they a great speaker? Why is it? What is it that they're doing? What exactly is it that's having this effect and breaking it down in that way? And just like, a sommelier once told me, I was like, how do I start to taste the different notes in wine? Like, how do I get there? And he said, you fake it, and then eventually you're right. So I do think there's kind of some truth to like playing with that a little bit. Like, okay, well, maybe it's fire. What if it is fire? Okay, well, how would I mimic that in my mouth? If it's this, well, how would I mimic this in my mouth? And then eventually over time you start to get it, right? Like a little kid. Cool, great job.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for playing.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What am I? Like, just my natural, like, earthy, like, where is the ish? I feel earthy when I speak, and I don't know if that's correct or not.
You're earthy and you have a nasality as well. So you have some metal, so your voice travels in that. So projecting is actually, you talk about would you like to practice projecting real quick?
Sure.
Since that's what you brought to the beginning of class. And then I'm gonna move faster with everybody. It's usually the first few like kind of take longer. What's your name one more time? Jonathan. I'm Jonathan.
I am Jonathan.
That was awesome. Cool. Great. It was so resonant. You're gonna do it one more time. You're going to choose a specific place for your voice to land.
Ready? I am Jonathan.
Cool, how's that?
Good.
And you're gonna do it one more time, and you're going to use your breath on all of the vowels, as if your breath is carrying each moment of your voice.
Ready?
Yeah.
I am Jonathan.
Cool. Yeah, a lot more resonant. Beautiful. Yeah. I invite you to sing every day.
Okay.
And sing ballads, sing things that move from vowel to vowel. Not like, I wouldn't give you like fast rap because your consonants are really strong. We're working on how do you have the melody between the consonants. So if I don't necessarily, what music do you listen to?
All kinds. House music, rap,
Okay.
country music.
Okay.
I love 90s
Chris
country.
Stapleton. You're
I
as
that's one.
sweet as Tennessee whiskey. Those are all vowels, right? And then the consonants just come in to give clarity. Cool. Awesome. Great job. Super fun. Who's next? Don't make me pick you.
As for me, for breakfast, I just kind of feel the day. I'm not always a breakfast person. It just depends on my mood, if I wake up, and how I'm feeling. So today I did want breakfast. I didn't really have like a late dinner last night. So today I woke up, took my time. I wasn't in a rush, and that's my favorite type of feeling when I just get up on my own and take my time. I decided to make chorizo and egg. I'm not a cook, so I was like, am I supposed to put oil in this or not? You know, my mom would always make that growing up, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try it. So I did a little oil, I did some chorizo. I didn't burn the apartment down, so that was good. And I just ate my eggs. I'm trying to not eat so much gluten, just because just issues. But, so I just had a protein type of tortilla, and yeah, I made myself a nice pot of coffee with some almond milk, and that was my breakfast for today. Thank you.
Woohoo! I love that.
I felt better
Mhm.
than the first time I was up here.
Mhm.
I've been doing more speaking in front of people, but
Taking up space.
it just still feels a little like I want to rush, like how he was saying, like you just want to like For me, eating breakfast isn't a daily thing. It just depends on my mood when I wake up in the mornings. So it just feels right for me if I, you know, how I wake up that day, if it's a breakfast kind of day or just a coffee and go.
Okay, cool. Let's do it again with
Okay.
air. Yeah. Well, you said
I
that
was-
when you're more consonant, people tell you that you're bossy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. There were aspects of that I would also feel that. And so I'm like, okay, let's break it down. I gave advice that probably would not lead you in the right direction in another environment. What if we use air a little bit? Let's see what happens. For me,
Okay, so with air,
try it.
does it have to be like high tone?
What is air feeling to you?
Hard, like trying to get that tonality.
Can I hear you do air? Just real quick, just right now. What does air mean to you?
Like to talk like this.
If I talk like this, if I welcome you in, try that.
If I talk like this, I welcome you in. Like it feels odd. I don't know.
No, it is odd. We're playing with some odd
Yeah.
different things to see what can come out of it. What if it's earth? So for me, breakfast is.
So for me, breakfast is.
Yeah, I think what it is that all of these. I want to find another way to do this with you. I think is English your first language? Is
No,
Spanish your first
Spanish.
language? Okay, so Spanish has an inherent nasality to it, and so a lot of times when I work with English as second language speakers, there's like a blocked nasal pattern, and that's part of what's coming through. Because you sounded so much more natural. You said tortilla, and like I was like, oh, there she is,
Yeah.
right? I could tell that like there's a part of you. I study voices, right now, but I could tell there's a part of you you're shutting down, right, in order to speak in English in a world that's like, I don't know, in an environment maybe that's judgmental,
Yeah.
right? So let's just acknowledge those kinds of moments, right? How do I want to play with you? I really want to take you to the next level here. Can I have you sing it a little bit? What's the first sentence?
For me,
Yeah.
breakfast isn't like a daily thing.
Yeah. For me, breakfast for me, breakfast isn't a daily thing.
Breakfast isn't a daily thing.
For me,
breakfast
isn't a daily thing.
Breakfast isn't a daily thing.
Cool, great. Let's see if the changing the melodic pattern helps that. For me, breakfast isn't a daily thing.
Breakfast isn't a daily thing.
Yeah, I wonder if like the inflection of the sentences might support you. Okay, say that one more time.
For me, breakfast isn't a daily thing.
For me,
breakfast
isn't a daily thing.
isn't a daily thing.
Cool. I don't necessarily know what you do with this, how you take, but it's working, right? Like you're all nodding your heads, right? Like something's shifting, something's changing. What's next in sentence?
It just depends on the way I wake up.
Yeah, it just depends
It just depends
on the way I wake up.
on the way I wake up.
Cool. Now it's more full. It doesn't have to be as intense. It just depends
It just depends
on the way I wake up.
on the way I wake up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think if you do you sing every day?
Here and there.
I mean like sing along in your car. Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying like
yeah.
get in front of people. I'm just saying like do you practice this breathing kind of style pattern?
Only if I'm by myself in the car.
Okay, cool. I think what would be really helpful for you, one, you could go do my vocal warm-ups on YouTube, or anyone's vocal, it doesn't have to be mine, go watch anyone's vocal warm-ups on YouTube. But more than that, if you sing them without the consonants, because your consonants are really clear because that's the Spanish language, and you focus on going from, like, I have Heaven stuck in my head by, was it Cascadia? Ayo, 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 ayo. Do it just on the vowels. You as well, Jonathan. Yeah, it's really weird, but it works. It works. Then you'll feel different melodic patterns.
like a pitch yesterday.
Okay.
I got like a, I don't know, I just wanna be shy. Even, I'm like shy sometimes, depends on the mood.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just trying something new and just trying to be more open. So like if my intention right now is to just like have a little more confidence in myself, then because I kind of lack it a little bit.
Sick. Okay. Well, you have a wonderful water voice with a lot of earth as well, so I invite you to bring as much fire as you've got.
Okay.
All right? Let's see what happens.
Okay. So are you guys more of a like to cook your guys self, or would you rather have someone cook for you? If anyone can raise their hand, would you rather cook yourself or
Cook myself.
Cook for me.
Okay, then would you rather have somebody cook for you?
For me. For me.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm a little bit in between both. Until I went to this hotel room, and it was just the greatest experience that I really just ever had. They had all the hors d'oeuvres. I got to eat endless amounts of food. An experience with my children, as you might have seen them running around, and it was just something different. And I cooked better than my spouse. And there's sometimes, you know, it was just a different environment. So the hotel I'm talking about is Stay Bridge. So they had like different things that I'm not used to, maybe at the La Quinta. You just, you know, it's just different. Having breakfast in bed, you know what I mean, and being, I guess, to be able to feel, I guess, somewhat kingly at times, and just be able to relax, enjoy some TV, go back up to your room, go back down, and just enjoy the whole vibe. So, I was winging it, so thank
Just
you.
say thank you. Yeah. Once you're like, ooh, am I gonna? I have to make something up. That's a great time to say thank you. Cool. When I have you do it again, I'm gonna yell out the elements at you. Okay? Because once you were like, I stayed in the best hotel. I wanted you to be like, this is the best hotel I've ever stayed in. Like I wanted to like be there with you. Like you're Micah's age, right? And you're like, this is so cool, right? I know it seems crazy and really big. I'm only this expressive, well, because I'm me, but also because if I'm this expressive, then you'll be like, it was so cool, right? If I show you really big, you'll show me like 25% of that. Okay? Cool.
Okay, so are you guys more of a, do you guys like to cook for yourself, or you guys like to be served? Raise your hand if you like to be served. Okay, and then raise your hand if you like to cook for yourself. Okay, okay. Well, like I said, I'm a little bit in between both. It just depends on my mood. I have ADHD, so you know. So sometimes when I'm feeling like a little like down, you know what I mean. Somebody serving me up may lift up my mood. So
fire.
But I stayed at this hotel one time, and let me tell you, the food was so good, and everything was just set up just right. I got to go downstairs with my children, watch them play, and I got to feel like, wow, I'm doing my thing.
Awesome. We'll pause it there. Cool. I'm gonna have you just do metal real quick. Just feel what it sounds like. I was playing with my kids. Like get really nasal real quick.
I was playing with okay, wait, that's what.
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's weird.
I was playing with my kids, and they just was running around doing all kind of stuff. I'm like, sit down.
All right, cool. I dig that. I dig that. I think for you, and maybe finding different characters might be useful. So whatever that means to you, it doesn't necessarily mean like put on a character, but it will give you dynamics. So whatever pitch you're working on, it's like this version of me, this version of me, because you were so expressive and so engaging during that, and I wonder if it's like you're like, okay, I feel safe to be this version of myself now. I feel safe to be this version. Was that it?
I do got like a lot of personalities.
Yeah.
I can be like two different people in 1 minute or like one conversation. Sometimes then it makes me kind of overthink. It's like, dang, am I being like, I start to overthink if this person, what this person may be thinking of me, or they even noticing it. So it's like, I guess where I'm trying to overcome is just like the overthinking while speaking at the same time. Because somehow I can be overthinking and still speak, and I don't know, yeah.
What's the answer to that? Come on. Breathing. Yeah. When we start overthinking, we stop breathing. What's up?
Can I share something with him?
Yeah.
Because you were mentioning characters.
Yeah.
And then I know you have kids, you're talking about your kids. For me, reading to my son is like the safest space and like the most fun to test these things and get over character and kind of go crazy is like in children's
Yeah, I know what you, I done did it a couple times, so I can agree with you. I just didn't think about it relaying it to like public speaking, but I did notice doing this, like you know how we watch movies and people like narrate. So this kind of like using the different tones reminds me of like watching a movie and a person is narrating it and stuff like that. So I kind of get what you're coming.
Cool. That's exactly it. Bring that into your pitch, at least into practicing it, and see what happens. Great job. Thank you for playing. I appreciate it. You want to go next? You don't want to go at all? Really? All right. Well, I invite you to go before the class is up. It's good for you. The more times you fail, the more times you succeed. Right? Not that you'll fail. Come on up.
I usually do not speak in front of people at all. So.
Yay!
I know everyone says that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but I like to intermittent fast, and I usually eat at like 10 or 11 o'clock, just to let my body fully wake up. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm done. She goes, I'm done. Oh, that would give me a good belly laugh. I didn't even have time to get into it. Okay, cool. What's your name?
Nisha.
What's your intention?
To feel more confident.
To feel more confident?
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you to go to the center and go, I take up space.
I take up space.
Oh, girl, come on, let's take up space. I take up space.
I take up space.
Yeah, now have it be like a little siren. I take up space.
I take up space.
There we go. All right, all right. More range in your voice creates more dynamics, and more of you gets to be seen. There's, I am safe to be seen.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. You probably. I imagine, and I hope I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. I imagine that you and other people in this room had somebody at some point in your childhood that made you feel unsafe to be seen, and that's why we have this, and that's why this is so healing, and that's why this is called playful practice, right? Because the whole point is like getting in touch with our inner child in order to go, wee, right? I'm safe to be seen. All right, now you do that.
Yeah.
I'm safe to be seen.
I'm safe to be seen.
I am safe to be seen.
I am safe to be seen.
I am safe to be me.
I am safe to be me.
Woo! Woo! Is that hard? Is that a little scary?
A little bit.
Yeah, it is really scary. It's super scary, right? Someone's got to do the scary thing in here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now if you were going to start over about breakfast, what kind of energy would you bring with that? Heart forward. How would little you do it?
I don't usually eat breakfast in the morning because I fast in the morning. And today, I honestly regretted that decision because I did not eat breakfast at all today. Thank you.
Yay! Okay, awesome. I love that. I will take it. More vibrant, more energy. How'd that feel?
It felt a little bit good.
It's like I still hated it. Okay, awesome. That was great. Well, we heard more of your voice. You did something scary. Good job. Thank you so much. All right. You want to come up?
I'll try.
Please do. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Technically, 5.
I like talking to ChatGPT. I like asking ChatGPT a lot of questions. So while everybody was giving their presentations, I was actually doing research about breakfast statistics. Apparently, 80% of people that skip breakfast regularly have like a higher chance to having cardiovascular diseases once they get older. Apparently, and what's interesting is considering how much junk food people eat in their breakfast today and all the syrup they have in their pancakes and whatnot, it's crazy that the people that don't eat breakfast are the ones that have a higher chance to have a heart attack. That's not a fact, though. I could be full of shit.
That was fun. What's your name?
Abdullah.
Abdullah.
Yes, ma'am.
That was so fun. I don't know. No one's ever looked up ChatGPT in class and done that
I talked to
before.
ChatGPT a say it again.
Yeah, I want you to come in with air. Because you're coming in with a statistic, which is different, right? But not necessarily different in terms of pitches, right? A lot of people come in with statistics. I was talking to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT and I had this conversation, and I found it so fascinating that most people, and then you get into the thing that's fascinating. I probably got loud a little too early. I'd probably wait a bit, but do you see where I'm going with this? I want to see what happens. Can you try it?
So I was talking to ChatGPT today, and I found something extremely interesting. Apparently, people that skip breakfast regularly have an 89% chance to having cardiovascular diseases in the future.
Fire.
The crazy thing is, everything in breakfast today is nothing but syrup and sugar and all this extra junk food that's probably all processed anyway, is causing less damage to people than just not eating breakfast.
Air.
I would love to know, I don't know.
No, I'm going to pull you back. This is really great. This is cool. I'm getting into like details of storytelling in this right now. If we're delivering statistics, how do we make them interesting, right? How do we make people super engaged in a statistic? Which this actually is an interesting statistic to me as a health nerd. I almost wanted you to go. What was the line that you said about cardiovascular health?
I don't know. The problem is I don't know how to pronounce that word. I'm trying to.
Cardiovascular?
Cardiovascular diseases.
You just did it.
Yeah.
You're great. You're a champ.
I mean, I just learned it just now. But
Okay, you're good.
I have to say it 3-4 times in my head.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, cool. You're more likely to develop cardiovascular diseases, which is interesting because when we think about the food that we eat, it's all junk food. Do you see how that like creates a dynamic?
Yeah.
Can I have you play with that in your version of it? What would that be? Standing behind me right now, bro. I want you in front of me. I want you taking up space. I mean, you could say anything. You could literally be like, hobgoblin, 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 hobgoblin. The point is, I want to see you feeling, getting uncomfortable in your voice, getting out of your comfort zone.
Did you know that if you eat did you know that if you ate breakfast less often, you're more likely to have a heart attack than the guy that eats junk food breakfast? And then you wanted me to.
Yeah. That's great.
I just don't know what the next.
And they're like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's it.
Isn't that crazy?
Whisper it. A little bit more. A little bit more.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? He has so much voice. It's like one or the other, right? It's awesome. It's a good problem to have.
No in between.
Yeah, that's okay. There's no in between. Okay, cool. All right, next thing, my friend. You walked out with straight legs.
Okay.
So if you're gonna walk out with straight legs, right now you're wearing sandals, then be sure to walk heel toe, so that you look like you're pacing purposefully, rather than I wouldn't kick it either. Rather than like this, okay? So just be aware of how you're standing. Do you want to keep playing, or would you like me to leave?
No, good. Give somebody else a chance. That's why it's quiet.
No, it's good. See, I want everyone to like. No, it was great. That was great. Notice, my friends, dynamics are everything. What people rarely remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel, and you will impact how you make them feel by how you say it. Right? It's not what you said. It's how you said it. Okay. Who wants to go next? Do you want to go next? We're almost done. Like class is almost over. If you're waiting till the end,
embedded in my subconscious that just kind of like surfaces in these moments. So that's weird to me. And you said something interesting earlier. You said, when I hear someone speak, I can tell their trauma. That hit me. I resonated with that. But I digress. So my name is Patrice. My background is in exercise physiology. And I recently started my organization called Harmony Collective. And the basis of this organization is teaching people the importance of the mind, body, spirit connection. So at the foundation, it's physical fitness, because that's one component of overall health. But then we also have an educational component where I teach people about mind, body, spirit, kind of like I told you guys earlier. Um, Philosophy, I go into spirituality, because I feel like if you can help people understand the mental component to well-being as well as the emotional component, and then you can also help them understand the physical component, then they can truly achieve overall wellness. And to me, that's what holistic wellness truly means. Thank you.
Cool. How was that for you?
It was horrible.
Why was it horrible?
Like I said, it's just the minute I get in front of people, even though I don't care what they think about me, it's just like something within just takes over. And like I can no longer regulate my breathing. I like want to hurry up and be done. It's weird.
Is there a part? Have you done any parts work yet? Internal family systems. So knowing what part of us, whether it's like the little sister or the daughter or the inner mother that's speaking up. So when you're going like, that might be really beneficial to kind of go deeper with it. If you're like, I don't care what they think, but I wonder if there's a part of you that does, because a part of you cared at one point and then you just shut that down.
I think it goes into, you mentioned earlier being seen. I think for the longest in my life, I did not want to be seen. But now that I'm kind of like, I went through this healing journey, I'm like starting to express myself more. And so it's forcing me to be in places where I have to be seen. And I'm not really used to that. So, yeah.
Cool. I love the way you speak. Like as you're speaking right now, I feel so much of your passion come through, and there's so much warmth in you. So I get that of like, you just step on stage and it's like, gotta shut down. They can't see me, right? If they see me, what will happen, right? And mine's kind of the opposite. I put on the performer, right? If they see the real vulnerable, scared me, then what will happen? But I still resonate. I'm just now you talking your passion. I'm like, it's been like 8 hours since I've seen my stepson. I'm like, I miss him. And like the kids coming. It's weird how that happens. Okay. What if you were to talk to us like we're your friends and you're just like telling us about your passion? What if you just talk to me?
Yeah, that's
Talk
why
to me.
I was talking to you at one point.
Yeah. Tell me right now.
Helping.
Like take like 20 seconds. Tell me about your passion. Like why did you get into this?
Well, I come from a underprivileged neighborhood, and so we didn't really have a lot of resources and tools to learn how to regulate our emotions, really see ourselves as more than our circumstances. And so I feel like even today I see people in the circumstances that I grew up in, and I just really want to help them. And people that are not even in those circumstances, people just, maybe they come from a background where their childhood was adverse, and they just don't know how to fully be themselves or in their bodies, people who, they don't take their health serious, so like they're on medication, things like that. Just, it's a healing thing, really, that's what it is.
Beautiful. That was awesome. That was so engaging, and I now understand what your business does and why it's so important. And now I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. What was cool is that was right before when I don't often talk about structure of a pitch, but when you are pitching something, start with the problem. There's a problem. There are solutions. Here's my solution. Whether you're talking about it in front of 2 people, like my partner, he's This is healing the generation. What you're doing is so, so, so important. Uh, and this is why I've been doing this over the past years to help women like you use their voice in order to change the world, right? So I invite you to focus on I feel safe to be seen. And I'm curious if that is your focus, throw away the inner critic. That inner critic's loud, girl. Yeah?
Yeah.
Does your inner critic have a name?
No. Well, at one point I did name it, but I think it's stupid. So.
It's not
That's the
stupid.
critic.
That's parts work. That is actually some really good psychology. It's really good. Yeah. Name that inner critic. What is their name? What do they say? What are the mean things that they say to you, right?
Yeah.
Um,
What did you mention at first though? You said something about family, what was it called?
internal family systems, IFS, also known as parts work. Finding the parts of you. So it's also like inner child work is an aspect of parts work, but often jealousy is a scorned inner sister or inner brother, right? They're the things that we did not get. We've heard of the sister wound, women being catty, gossipy, the brother wound, men being mean to each other, bullying, right? The father wound, not trusting the world, not trusting God, not trusting the government, not trusting father. The mother wound, not trusting self and self-sacrificing, not being good and loving myself. Love my mom, super close with her. She was a stage mom, so I had a really strong mother wound around like I'm really hard on myself and have to be perfect, and that's why I won't put things out into the world permanently unless they're not perfect, and that stops me from putting things out to the world. And internally, it's just my mom going, "That's great, except." Right? Except that one note. That's great, except you missed this dance step. So we all have that. We all have that, and some are more intense and traumatic than others, right? But validate yourself. So parts work's really powerful. And imagine, like, see the little girl inside. It's like, is it safe to be seen? Right? But the adult you is like, I don't care if they don't like me. I'm fine. Right? It's a little you. Yeah. It's a little you. I feel like that's more value that I can give you than like practicing more right now. If you want to reach out to me by email or something and ask, I can send you resources. I'm happy to. Or Instagram is probably easiest these days. Yeah, Sammy the Siren, SAMMI. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, like happy to send resources in any direction. Still passionate about this work. Love this work so much. I think it's super important. I'm just channeling it differently these days. That was awesome. Thank you for your vulnerability because other people are going through what you're going through. No doubt. No doubt. Thank you. Anybody else who wants to go? We have 3 minutes left. Yes, please come on up. Yeah, if you want to join us, you can join over there, but if not, okay.
Hello everyone. Okay, my name is Sam. Today I'm going to share something important about my life. It's about the breakfast. My breakfast is kind of different than everybody else because I love a breakfast. So the first thing when I go to the kitchen, I'm thinking, what am I going to eat this morning? So I go to the refrigerator, I open it, I see what I have, and then I think, okay, I eat this yesterday, I want to eat this today. So I pick up what I want to eat. Then I go to the counter to see what I'm going to drink for today. Do I going to drink tea? Going to drink black coffee? Going to drink white coffee? What are you going to drink today? So depend on my mood on that day. Anyhow, I choose what I need to prepare for my breakfast. I prepare it, put it in a plate. Sometimes I go, because I'm working from home, I choose to eat my breakfast in the backyard. Sometimes I feel no, I need to rush to start working, eat, and read something important in the Yahoo News or whatever news available. I'm gonna try to stay away from bad news. So sometimes, especially on Monday, I go to Monday jokes. Why people feel, how they say it, why people feel like sad or bad on Monday, they say, oh, it's Monday. Okay, fine, it's Monday, but I said it's the beginning of you don't get good breakfast, you don't feed your body good, you know? There is a good saying that said, eat your breakfast by yourself. Eat your lunch with your friend and leave your dinner. Your dinner. Thank you.
Thank you. Dan, what was your intention?
It's important to eat breakfast.
Okay.
It's important to enjoy your breakfast because when you have a good breakfast, you're gonna have a good day.
Okay, cool. Great. Where are you from again?
Iraq.
Yes.
And I speak Arabic.
Do you speak French also?
No.
Do you have some? And I'm curious. I'm not very familiar with Arabic vowels and consonant patterns, but there was an aspect of French that was kind of interesting in terms of how you speak in English. I love the idea of this is why it's such an important meal of the day. I'd love to hear of like a time, if you were going to tell this again and shift your storytelling pattern, tell specifically of a time that you ate breakfast and it saved your day and a time when you didn't eat breakfast and it was terrible, right? Like if I don't eat breakfast, I am a maniac. You do not want me on the road, right? Like that's true. I love breakfast. You don't want me on the road if I haven't eaten. Do you see? So rather than talking about it, you're showing us the process. And we're pretty much out of time. So if you do you want to think on that, try it again, or?
Well, breakfast, as I said, is very important for me because my day starts with a breakfast. When I have a good breakfast, I have a good mood. If I don't get a breakfast, my body, my brain start to be frozen. It's like glitching, something wrong in myself. So I'm rushing to do something at work. So one day I decided to skip a breakfast as my friends say, don't eat breakfast. I said, okay, fine. So I started the day without eating breakfast. By 10 a.m., I start having a headache. My brain is not working. I said, why people skipping breakfast? So I decided not to skip this breakfast.
Okay, cool. That was a lot more engaging. That was awesome. Okay, great adjustment. Look up the story spine, Pixar story spine as well, how to storytelling. And then the next thing for you is also singing your melody, right? Because especially when English is a second language, you can often get into a repetitive pattern. Okay, I don't speak any other languages, so like I'm not one to talk, but I do work with a lot of English as second language speakers. We are at time. Is there anything else any reflections on that?
Not really.
Okay, awesome. Great job. That was a great adjustment. Thank you so much. All right, my friends, we are out of time. I thank you all for coming. Look at me and my filler words. Thank you all so much for coming. This class has been such a joy to teach. And if you want to stay in touch, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'd love to get a class picture, if you will, just up here. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Sammy the Siren. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, you totally can. I still have a ton of YouTube videos if you want to go deeper with any of this and also get into more of the neuroscience and the nerdiness behind this. And also, I talk a lot about how I do believe that when we find our voices, we save the world. And that is really what I'm about. And I kind of talk about that in terms of like the quantum physics way and the neuroscience way and in just like a really practical way of like we've lost touch with our voices. The best thing that we can do is start to sing and literally raise the vibration of the earth through singing. Not through all of this fakeness, but really singing is, sorry, I have my opinions on like, I love Austin so much and there's a lot of saying one thing and doing another, right? So the more we can sing, be good to each other, love each other, support each other, I do believe that we can see a better world in this lifetime if we keep putting our voices to it. So if you want to stay in touch, please do. My lectures will start
so, so before the stage or before you go, I know it's like when you stop on the stage, so it's gonna be it was the first time for you? Oh no, okay. How many people was?
There are 2 people.
2 people. So you having to practice in front of other people, like friends?
It's really fascinating. I've had people come in and tell
Met, met
amazing stories about
Africa is exciting.
and it has nothing to do with bowl cereal, it has
No,
everything
you
to do with
have to
how they
practice in
describe
front of
it,
other
and
people.
it's
Okay.
so simple. Thank you.
Really?
Exactly. Precisely. Exactly. Cool. Totally. Thanks for sharing. I'll hang out for a bit.
You could tell
Like
though,
showing my
like once
YouTube
I
for your funniness.
made that transition, I was like,
What is this?
you just see them and pretty much just don't
My
forget.
QR code? That's funny.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Page 2. I don't know what's this even.
I think I do have it. I must not ignore it.
Interactive to very hard. Presenting, speaking hard. Everything of like the ideals, all of it. I don't even have that carry.
Yeah.
Everyone's learned how to talk. What's that?
Icebreakers for dating.
Yeah, something like that.
Is that when you felt that better?
Asking questions. What are you passionate about?
Let's go over here. Hold a minute. Okay. Okay, but you could see that because you went through the motions yourself. But the average person probably would just think, okay.
It's a great question. What are you passionate about these days? What are you passionate about? Get people to talk about themselves. Yep. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. Just get people to talk about themselves. What do you care about? What are you passionate about? What gets you excited to get out of bed in the morning? What projects are you working on? Asking about family history is common. Yeah, passions are good. Try that.
Spontaneous. Yeah.
Yeah. What's something that you're proud of right now? Um, 95% the same. 95%.
Understood.
I it's just um, I'm not selling my services. It's not that I've been selling my services for a while. It's just everything comes to an end to be like a good time for you. I don't know. That's just how I roll.
I'm like falling apart the whole time.
Yep. No, I was like, you're the best. And I was like, I know, but
Yeah, no.
have you heard me on here? On here, and I
No,
say,
you're not
I
pregnant.
talk so much about everything. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. If I, here's the deal with me. Okay. So, okay, got it, got it, got it. Well, there's plenty. So go in song circles. Song circles will open up your voice naturally. It'll open up your voice. Love it. I need to sit. I've got some hand stuff going on.
Yeah. Just go into the
I'll be around, but it's okay. You'll be okay. You have my email. Perfect. Perfect. It's good to see you. What's up, my dear? Sorry.
That's true. Yeah, it's just been
Usually I
past
make
few
people red,
years
but
that I stopped
usually I would be like getting up there.
expressing myself. Sometimes I keep my face where I'm going. I still have the passion and I have it and I know what I'm saying. It's just the nerves just stop me.
Let's just put it up here. Can I talk to you? Watch it over there. Here.
Well, it's charging.